And we're back again with another episode of the Gage's Fit Life podcast, and this is going to be one for the record books. So I've got some big news about our previous podcast, Creepy Trainers. Episode number 2, go back, check it out. It may help you understand this one a little bit better, but if not, just stick right here. So there's been some news come out here in Chattanooga about a local trainer who got in some trouble, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. I want to get a little political on you. Reason I'm getting a little political on you is because right now in the political world, especially in the United States, there's a lot of division and a lot of nonsense going on. Everybody has an opinion. I have an opinion, but all of these opinions tie together to what I'm talking about today. Creepy trainers, narcissists, it all ties together. So basically what we have going on in politics today is that you have one side who speaks out, who shoves stuff down your throat and makes sure that you hear what they're saying. And if anything is said that's somewhat different of their viewpoint, it's completely wrong. It's shut off. You shouldn't be allowed to talk. And I want to talk about business owners real quick. I've been political on my Instagram lately, just giving my information on what I think is happening in the United States. And it's not really what I think. It's about what actually is happening and my viewpoint as a business owner on how it's affecting my business and how it's affecting millions of other businesses at the same time. So, and I've been told multiple times by multiple people, Gage, you need to stop talking about politics. You're going to lose your business. Your business is going to suffer from this. My question to everyone who I completely understand, these people are actually looking out for me and trying to help me out. But this is the way I think about this. As a business owner, if you're not allowed to speak out, especially a small business owner, because big tech companies and all of these huge companies have these solid just opinions and voices, and they shove them down their employees' throats. So as a small business owner, we're not allowed to speak out unless if you have one narrative. And when I say not allowed, it's frowned upon. It's not like someone saying, hey, you can't speak about this. But it's frowned upon, and then you lose business because of the way you think. I'm not saying one way is right. I'm not saying one way is wrong, but it's the same situation as when someone told LeBron James or whoever it was, shut up and dribble. Athletes have a political opinion. They can speak upon it. So do business owners. If someone loses business because of the way they think, then their product probably isn't that great. I'm just going to be completely honest. Either that or their customers really, truly do not like you. But in today's political world, that's the way people are. So you have one standard. You have one way of thinking. A group of people will lie to you constantly. And let me just put this in perspective for you. As a kid, if you were a guy or girl, you play basketball, you play with your group of friends, you would always have that one friend who would always try to cheat to win. And if you've ever been in this situation, then I don't think you've ever actually played basketball with a group of kids. You would always have that one friend that would try to cheat to win, whether they be trying to foul you or them traveling or just doing whatever they could to win the game. And eventually, if you play a normal game of basketball, if you are trying to follow the rules and just play the game, eventually you've had enough. You're like, dude, you're not doing X, Y, and Z. This isn't a foul. You're traveling the ball. And they keep on arguing with you and just telling you, no, it's not right, blah, 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 blah. Eventually you give up and you're like, whatever, I'm just going to play the game. If I beat you, if I beat you, if I don't, I don't. They win and they gloat about it and they're so happy because that's the only way they can win. If you've ever played basketball with somebody like that, you know what I mean. And basically, you put this narrative on someone so much and you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it. And eventually you're like, whatever. And then you keep on hearing it. You keep on thinking it. And then eventually people around you that are not playing the game think that so-and-so is pretty good at basketball. They keep on winning. Why? Like they're beating Gage. Gage must not be that good. He must suck. It's that you keep on hearing this thing and you think that it's true, but it's not. And that's the same thing when it comes to trainers around Chattanooga and the surrounding areas, which really in the United States. A trainer will get in your head and build a relationship with you and make you think that what they're doing is normal, that it's okay because that's who they are. And the more you think that it's kind of weird that they're texting you this way, or they're messaging you a certain way, or they're sending weird Snapchats, or whatever it is, they're hugging on you, whatever it may be. You may think it's kind of weird. Let me go ahead and tell you, it is. And just because they say it's not weird, and just because you think that's just the way they are, it's not the case. So I like to tie everything together because it's basically what I'm seeing here. When it comes to politics, a lot of people out there actually don't do their research. It's almost like they have whatever is going on in the world. It goes right over their head. And they're like, whoop, there it is. This is how it is. You're playing the basketball player that is literally saying they're the greatest player ever, but they're not. So you believe whatever you hear. And if you constantly hear that this side of the field, this side of the party, this side of the trainer or whatever, if they constantly tell you that they're good, they never do anything wrong, and they're the holiest of the holy, and that's who they are, you're supposed to believe them? No. The stuff that's happening right in front of your face is real. John D. Rockefeller once said in 1902, correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If you want to hide something from someone, hide it in plain sight. Me personally, that's what I feel like the United States government is doing to everyone right now. They're censoring people. I'm not going to get on all that. But trainers do the exact same thing. If you want to hide something, hide it in plain sight. You'll see trainers taking pictures with their people, their clients. They're hugged up against them. They're like, woo, this is a great time. Let's go on vacation together. Let's meet up. Let's hang out outside the gym. I personally find that highly inappropriate. Unless if it's a group meetup. It's a family type vibe meetup. Guys, so there's a trainer in Chattanooga. I'm not going to name names. 2 weeks after the podcast came out, my client comes up to me, and I'm not going to name my client either. And they're like, after I heard your podcast, I was just sitting there thinking about it. And then this other gym, so she's a part of another gym too, the other gym fires a trainer. And they said they couldn't say what it was about or what was going on. But this trainer was training for the past 10 years with these athletes / clients. I can't go into detail because I'm not going to be the person that's going to give you all the information. This trainer's been training for 10 years, working with these people, training with these people. And now he's fired. They can't say what it's about though. But what they are doing is having a client to trainer course on how to act appropriately with clients and athletes, how to train them in a modest way. Now, when you look at that situation, that person has basically gotten away with whatever they were doing for the past 10 years. Hugging on clients, Snapchatting clients, messaging clients, maybe hanging out with clients outside the gym, and probably clients that are a little bit too young that may have not consented to that type of behavior. And they've been doing it for 10 years. Parents, do you hear what I'm saying? Are you hearing rumors about so-and-so around town? Are you hearing rumors that Billy Bob is not that good of a guy? Are you hearing rumors? If you are, you might want to investigate. I said that specifically in the last podcast. And when my client told me this, I was just like, what? That is insane. And I thought to myself, if I'm the type of person who remains silent my whole life and just lets so-and-so do whatever they want, and I'm not talking about anybody specific. I'm just talking about people in general. I'm talking about politics. I'm talking about business. I'm talking about life in general. If you remain silent, people will continue to mentally abuse you to make you think that what you think is not true. And I'm talking to all the females out there. Someone will mentally mind F you to make you think that they are appropriate, that they're not being weird, that they can message you that way. And that's what I feel like is happening in politics in general. There's a thing called propaganda. If you constantly hear and see something over and over and over again, eventually you're going to think that it's true. Or eventually, you will look at the situation, you're like, man, I'm tired of hearing this. I gotta just turn this off. I gotta stop listening. And you stop caring because they're shoving it down your throat so much. If you have an opinion and it's a logical opinion, express that opinion with facts, with logic. Guys, when someone is hiding in plain sight and you see this, you see what's happening. You see that they're being weird. you feel a little uncomfortable. Just remember, trust your instincts. Trust what you feel. Don't react out of emotion, because a person that reacts out of complete emotion is not a logical thinker. So if you get anything from my podcast today, put the smack down on somebody. If you feel like they've been inappropriate with you, let them know. Tell them so. If they deny it, then that's okay. It's up to you to make that decision. If you feel like you're a business owner and you feel like you're not allowed to speak out on your political opinions, on the way you feel about a subject, speak out logically and express your opinion. Because if everyone who feels a certain way has to shut up just to make sure their business stays alive, which obviously the U.S. government doesn't really care if your business stays alive. If they can shut you down for however long they want, then you got to make a logical decision. You got to speak out at some point, and you have to move forward. Revolutions happen because of people speaking out, because of people having enough. If you're a female and you feel like you have been in a situation where you felt uncomfortable, let someone know. Reach out to somebody, because it's not cool. I've seen it happen to people and it goes right over their head. I'll talk to them later about it and they're like, well, I didn't really realize until afterwards. And now that I think about it, that was really weird. That was a weird situation. Why would he say that to me? Why would he behave that way? And I'm not saying that this is just all with male trainers. It can be with female trainers too. But just what I want everybody to realize is, don't put the blindfolds on. If you feel a certain type of way, there's a reason for that. Think logically and express what you feel and think in a logical way. Other than that, on the next podcast episode, I'm going to dive in deep to high school strength coaches and maybe even college strength coaches and talk a little bit about their pride and what they're doing to high school and college athletes. And it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be fun, but not pretty. There's a lot of athletes out in this world that are especially around Chattanooga, that are having their bodies broken down and almost to an uncertain repairable. Next week, we'll be talking about that topic. But as of right now, think logically, express your opinion, report your facts. If you feel a certain way, reach out. Other than that, everybody, peace out. Peace, love, and happiness. Goodbye.